Hello, thank you for coming to today's 20-minute presentation on apps, but we had too much fun and called it Welcome to Appy Hour. I'm here trying to fill the shoes of Hal Bright, so if I can't answer your question when he gets back, he can. So between the two of us, let's go ahead and explore what apps are, how you can use them, a little bit of how they are different depending on what device you're using, and then a quick run through of some of the ones the library makes available. So locating your app, pretty simple. If you have an Android device, it doesn't matter which one it is, you're going to find it in Google Play. If you have an iMac or an iPad or an iPhone, it's going to be on the App Store. If you do have a PC and you're trying to get to iOS operating system apps, you do need to download iTunes. So some commonalities that apps share. Some only require portal information. Browsing, if you haven't used it, anytime you change your password, which I think is every 6 to 12 months, I want to say it's probably closer to 6 months, you're going to have to redo your password of browsing. If you don't, it won't let you do anything, so it's a pretty good indication. Some offer or actually require individual accounts in addition to the portal authentication. So if you're like me, you're definitely going to want a location of all your app passwords because I forget routinely. Then accessibility. Anybody who receives an ATSU paycheck, it doesn't matter how big or how large, you have access to all the apps listed on the ATSU website, and that we'll be discussing today. So apps by category. We have point of care, we have apps discussing conferencing and webinars, we have continuing education apps, we have the library specific apps, and then we have the ITS resources. Point of care, UpToDate Anywhere, as many of you know, is probably one of the most popular apps that we have. The problem is with UpToDate Anywhere, you have to log in via either your iPad or your desktop once a month, or you will get kicked out. Also, if you're on rotations, please do not log into the rotation site UpToDate access, because if you do, then you'll get kicked off ours, and then it's a big mess, so you don't want to do that. Dynamed Plus is our new one. We would love your feedback. The beauty of Dynamed Plus is that it's different from UpToDate, and because it's different, and for many reasons it's different, we are able to actually give access to our preceptors. So this is really exciting. We do know that as it's fairly new, it will have, of course, problems. So as you encounter them, please let us know so that we can fix them. Conferencing and webinar apps. If you've ever been on a call, you can either get into the Google Hangout, you can use Zoom, you can use the Cisco WebEx, which is actually free, and I think it's up to 30 people, but I could be wrong about that. Some continuing education apps. I only listed our favorites up here that work really well. There are some others that don't work so well, and I decided to let you discover those on your own. StatRef. If it has not only the health stuff, it also has the dental stuff. So doctors, dentists, actually, it also has health administration, public health books too. So StatRef is pretty much available to everybody. If you're on rotations, Access Medicine is going to become your best friend. Create your own account, take some exams, brush up on materials, and you're good to go. Audio Digest. It can be used for not only CME, which is their continuing medical education, but it can also be used to just find out information on a topic of your choice. The only thing with Audio Digest is you do have to follow a set of instructions, so that one can get a little tricky. Call us if you have any questions. UpToDate, of course, and then Medscape is actually one of my favorites because it's not only is it free, but it sort of does a combination of StatRef, Access Medicine, UpToDate, and Dynamed Plus all in one thing. So if you've never tried it out, you should. It's a lot of fun. So the library app. It's coming soon. It's going to be organized by specialty. If you have any ideas for what to include, The time to tell us is now, because we have yet to launch anything. We have some good ideas, but we need more, and we need your feedback, because you're the experts, we aren't. Our mobile page right now is the best we can come to the library app. And it's located in the upper left-hand side of the library website. ITS resources. I would be fairly confident in stating that most of us didn't even know that ITS had an app. Well, they do. And if you haven't tried it out, you should, because it's pretty doggone cool. I didn't know until a few months ago. So thank you for coming. I think I zoomed through in about half the time that I was supposed to do it. So since I have a little time, I'm going to go ahead and show you on the iPad a couple of these. So the first one I'm going to do is browsing, which will also be coming on the desktop, we hope at the end of July, if the vendor's promising. So this is how it looks. You can scroll through the individual titles. This is Academic Emergency Medicine. As you can see, the table of contents comes right up. Now, I already have it in a bookshelf, but if I decided that I didn't want to, I could click on Remove from my bookshelf, and it's off. But I decided I want to add it back in. It pulls it up for me. All I have to do is click it and drag it to my bookshelf of choice, which you can also name. If you use the iPad, it's going to appear differently than if you use your phone. Same thing if you use an Android tablet, where's an Android phone? The way it's just formatted differently. It can throw you, or at least it threw me. Maybe I'm not best at that, but anyways. So this is the way browsing looks, and I have some brochures if you want some. Access Medicine is going to look like this. Pretty cool. Now, I haven't created my own account on here, but it has ICD 9 and 10, very useful. LexiComp. For all our dental fans, this is definitely one you want to look. It always brings up this lovely little accept screen, so just go up to the right-hand corner and click it. And it looks like you have to have an account immediately to do LexiComp, so that's a bad example. Let's see, what's another good one? Oh, StatRef. Okay, and this will be my last example today. Okay, I was wrong. Apparently you have to log in for StatRef too. Okay, that was my bad. But this is just to give you an idea of what we have available. And let me see if I can do this correctly. Do you have any questions?
Could you show the portal? You said the library resources on the portal. Maybe could you pull up a browser and
Sure.
kind of show people that a little bit?
Absolutely.
Where that's at? Kind of explain some of the areas?
Mm-hmm. Oh, lovely. Hold on. Okay. I don't quite know what happened there, but that's okay. So the library mobile page is up on the left-hand side. Audio digest. Oh, and we have browsing here. It's quite hard to miss. And usually on this side of the page will tell you what's new. For audio digest, because it's not quite as new, you actually have to go under databases. And then it's the fifth one down. Well, not the fifth one, sorry, but it's over here on the right-hand side. It's pretty close to the top. And as you can tell, there are some pretty in-depth instructions about how to make audio digest work. But I can tell you it's definitely worth it. And then LexiComp, go back to LexiComp here. It would help if I spelled my last name correctly. Sorry. Even I mess it up. So here's LexiComp. LexiComp is one of my favorites because it gives you lots of different options. There are training videos over on the right-hand side, but it's pretty self-explanatory, I think. So, especially for our MOSDO rotating students and ASDO students, this is where you want to go. Visual DX is our newest tool. It combines not only LexiComp, but it also lets you take a look at a picture and diagnose things that way. Let's see, what other questions do you have? So,
Show that on the, so does it look different on the iPad than it does on the web browser? If you wanted to pull the
you know,
the
it
library
probably
page,
does. Let me
you could
switch back to the Apple
Yeah.
TV. Good idea.
Maybe show what that looks like.
So, I don't have an account, so I'm going to create one. Interesting. Sorry, this is a bad one. I'm going to get out of LexiComp and instead do Access Medicine, because that way, that one doesn't require an account. So Access Medicine also makes you log in eventually, but it looks like this when you pull it up on your desktop. But when you do it on the iPad, it looks like this. And although it does make you sign in to do individual tests, it doesn't. So instead of having the features up at top across the screen, they're icons instead. So that's a little bit of how it looks, slightly different depending on what device you're using.
Any other questions online?
What does the ATSU mobile app do?
The ATSU, that's a good question. Let's see. I don't know if we have it on here, but
Might show, if it's not on there, can you go to the App Store and download it maybe?
I can. I have to remember our password is the only problem. All right, so let me go to our App Store. Where is it? Here we go.
Are we talking about ITSs? Because we don't have our library.
I don't know, you have it on yours?
No.
Or the ATSU app? You have the ATSU app on your? Not anymore.
I think it's a consensus. We all thought it was useful, but then. All right, let's try this one. So first you have to find it. There we go. Unfortunately, I don't know the password. But actually, hold on. I can use, yeah, unfortunately, I don't know the password for this.
But that's what it looks like in the app store.
Yeah, this is the way it would look if you were in the App Store.
Pull it up on yours real quick, with the App Store, just mirror to your, I'll have Dean pull up his iPad, he can log in real quick.
Okay,
because that might be interesting for people to see. I
Yeah,
didn't know
no, I
if
think that would be a
was
good
there.
idea.
Go ahead and he'll,
What do I touch so that he can
nothing,
get
he
to?
can do it wirelessly here. He'll go ahead and bring it up on his iPad. He'll go to the App Store on his iPad.
Oh, okay.
We can pull it up and you can kind of walk us through what's on there.
She'll need to stop airplane.
Yeah. So we'll stop sharing it here real quick. So we'll do up here as well.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's okay. We'll go ahead and turn off mirroring on yours. And then Dean, you can grab it if you want now.
I just downloaded it
So
here. It's
Dean
got
can pull it
the
up.
directory,
You can walk-
news,
kinda walk 'em through it.
videos, Facebook, Twitter, emergency, photos, library.
Okay, so it's for the whole campus.
Yeah.
not just-
Oh, both campuses.
Okay.
Okay.
Airplane code. Ooh,
All
now
right.
everybody has a Canuck.
You got your auto lock on. There we go. This way. Yeah. So what can the mobile app, the ATSU mobile app, what's on there? Maybe a little bit about what's available. Is it basically everything that's on the portal?
I would say that, yeah, it looks like the ATSU mobile app, if you download it, gives you options to do most of what you can do on your desktop, including the directory, if you need to find somebody, which it seems I use a lot. They have maps, so that's interesting. Let's see. Of both campuses, how fun. They still need to add the clinics, but that's okay. Facebook, Twitter, library. Okay, I'm a librarian, I have to go to the library page. It's just required. Takes you to the mobile page. You can take a tour. Not sure what that means, so we'll see. Ah, sorry, I should have guessed that. You can request a campus tour. Fantastic. So pretty much anything that you have on your ATSU login, you can get through the ATSU mobile with a lot less clicking.
What's the maps? Can you click on that? So the campus maps on there?
The
That'd be great
maps,
For people that were,
new. So let's go for Missouri here, and you can select the building. Very fun. Okay, so let's try the Couts Learning Center. Unable to locate your location.
I
Ah,
got my service, location services turned off.
okay. But if you have your location setting on, it can tell you how to get to various locations, which is really cool. Wish I'd known that. Crisis resources, the things you hope that never happen. Okay, interesting. So that's some of what you can do.
okay, very cool.
So thank you so much.
Do you have anything on